Oh my gosh.
Okay, step one. But why would you try to copy something that took a frickin' savant years to get good at and 500 balls a day to maintain it?
Yep.
Well, it's okay. So there's two ways to play golf, okay? There's two ways to play. One, you can play this way.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Two, you can play like this.
I want to play like that.
I understand. But you can't right now. And so you're at Callaway and you're doing all this fitting and you get right here and the face, your right hand is like this and the face is like that. And you're looking at the ball and you're going, whew. And so you do this so hard that your grip, this is twisting so hard that it's going right over the top of this hand. This is doing this so much,
yeah.
Which is why you struggle with your game.
Yeah.
It's why a lot of us struggle because that's what everybody was taught. Open the face, close the face.
Yeah.
Open the face, close the face. That's
yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
No.
It is though.
You don't have to do that. We don't have to do what Hogan did. Okay. There's a reason that Hogan's background, he started as a little kid, he had a really strong grip, hit low hooks. And he ran the ball forever to try to keep up with Byron Nelson and those guys. As he got older and he started to play, he believed that golf was a forearm rotation game, okay? But he got playing and he couldn't play because he hit low hooks. So he took a year off to try to figure out how he could hit it and not hook it. His solution, because he believed golf was a forearm rotation game, because up to that point, everything was about turning the face down because the ball spun so much and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So golf was this. So he kept figuring out, okay, I can't hook it. So he kept moving this hand farther and farther over, weaker and weaker left hand, getting his right hand more and more in here so he could turn it over as hard as he could and not hook it. Now I watched him hit balls one time. One of the most impressive things I've ever watched from I'm getting goosebumps. It's like watching, I don't know, a ballerina dancer or somebody who's just phenomenal. So you just watch it and you want to go, it's almost, it's mesmerizing.
Yeah.
The synchronization of it. But as I understood mechanics and joints and angles, I also, as I was watching, was going, no wonder nobody could ever copy what he did.
Yeah.
And no wonder when they asked him at the end of his career, how many days other than your car accident, how many days did you miss when you didn't practice? He says, I never missed a day where I didn't hit at least 500 balls a day, because if I missed one day, it took me 2 days to get back where I was.
Yeah.
Now, understanding Hogan had a different level of expectation, but why would you try to copy something that took a frickin' savant years to get good at and 500 balls a day to maintain it?
Yeah.
Now, I understand why, but because he was so good, everybody thought, well, that's the Holy Grail. That's what we all have to learn to do. Yeah. And it's ruined more people than it's helped. Some of the 5 fundamentals are good, but a lot of them are good as to what he did. But to take the average player, and I'm putting myself, because I tried that stuff for about 3 years.
Yeah.
Under pressure, I mean,
yeah.
I could hit it either way.
Yeah.
I'd make a swing and hit it. I could hit it in the center of the face all the time, but I'd look up and one's going a little this way, the next one's going a little that way, and then one might go a little harder than it went. So I couldn't aim at a flag. I had to aim general areas and keep it on the grass. Well, now you say you hit 16 greens.
Yeah.
You never have it inside of 40 feet. You don't ever make any birdies.
Right.
No control of the ball.
Right. This is a problem.
Well, we're going to fix you.
Oh, thank you.
I know you're enjoying this lesson that we're having. We did an interview earlier. And if you really like this lesson, you want to see the interview, Ashley, how can they get in touch with you?
You can go to my YouTube or Instagram at Ashley Huizing.
You're gonna love it. Let's just start here just so we start protecting your left knee.
Okay.
Okay, set up to the ball. Okay, now, if we had a little teeny wedge, let's get a wedge out here. Mitsubishi. Okay, we're gonna hit a little pitch shot.
Okay.
So feet closer together. You don't care if I grab a hold. Okay, inside the ball. We're gonna make a practice swing.
Okay.
Inside the ball.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you're on your left side.
Okay.
Now we're gonna hit a little 20, 30 yard pitch shot. So you go ahead and do it. So this hip has to do that, has to go that far back.
Whoa.
You see what it just did to your foot?
Yeah.
Okay, don't be afraid of that.
Okay.
As your left leg pushes your left hip back, see how you come off onto your heel?
Yeah.
All right, so you got to be okay with this feeling.
Oh.
Because that's where that hip has to go.
Okay.
For you to maintain your distance from the ball, I didn't do anything to your hips other than just keep them from moving closer to the ball.
Okay.
Now you normally go like this and you move out to the ball of your foot and you move up into it like that.
Yeah.
So the club's coming from the inside and you move up into it. That's how you get stuck underneath. And that's a knee injury.
Yep.
Okay, so I want you to feel what we're gonna do here.
Oh, okay.
So this hip and this arm and that club are connected to some degree.
Okay.
So this hip makes that go.
Okay.
See how you're blending those two?
Yep.
And when this goes, at impact, those toes had better pull off the ground.
Okay.
Boom. So you time, the left hip goes back far enough to pull your toes off the ground as you hit the ball.
Oh.
There you go. Okay, now go ahead and hit one like that. Easy. Feet closer together. We're just hitting a little pitch shot. Left hip pushes out of the way. Better. Now, right now it feels funny,
Yeah.
but if you watch me here, even if I'm hitting, let's say I'm just hitting a little teeny, watch what my left foot does.
It's off the ground. Yeah, toes are up.
Now my toes come up, not because I lift my toes.
Yeah.
My toes come up because this leg pushes this hip back,
Yep.
and as this hip goes back, it pulls my foot off. My foot's relaxed. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So you got to start doing that. Now,
Okay.
if you do this, once you hit it, and the club's over here, if you want to then stand up, which they talk about, guys feel like they stand up through the ball. No, they don't stand up through it. They stand up after they've hit it.
Okay.
So you can go back to your heel and then go out to the ball of your foot and everybody goes, oh God, that's beautiful. But through impact, weight has to be on your heel so that you can rotate and not kill your knee, even with a little pitch shot.
Okay.
Come on up here again. So we've got to start tying together this hip socket and this side of your body and the club.
Okay.
Okay? Go ahead.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. It
Nice
feels
and easy.
so different.
Okay, go ahead and hit one. Nice and easy.
Oh my gosh.
Did you see how solid that was?
Yes.
Okay, your hips never move back that far.
No.
See, the more I do this, the more I understand. Yeah, right hip get out of the way is important, but the reason most people get in trouble is they're trying to get off their right side and move their hips. So what happens is this hip stalls out. So they move up to their left side, and then this pushes and throws this up in the way, which for you, when you go like that, it drops the club even farther behind you. Because your first move out of the top is this hip pushes up,
Yeah.
as opposed to this hip pushing back. So when I did that to you, did you feel how the club didn't fall behind you as much?
No, not at all. Okay, so let me ask you this. So is this a form of early extension that I'm doing?
Yes.
Yes. And where is the limit? What is the limitation in my body that's not allowing me to get?
Okay, here's what I thought initially.
Okay.
When I got with Agoscu and we started working with people physically, most people are tight in their hip flexors, weak in their hamstrings. And I thought that early extension was totally a function of lack of flexibility and strength.
Yeah.
It plays into it. But then I would take somebody with tight hips, tight hamstrings, no glutes, and I'd put them on a cable cross and have them do pulleys. And their hips work fine. Now, some of them, their hips opened up more than others.
Okay.
But not one person moved up into the pulley.
Right.
So I'm going, okay.
Different.
Is this, how much is flexibility, mobility, and strength involved in this? To some degree, depending on how much you're trying to twist your hips, which is crazy because your body will say that's enough.
Okay.
But how you move and how this hip moves back and out of the way and how this foot works determines whether or not you're going to get stuck. Because if I do this, and watch what my hips do. So if I go back, that's why I hate guys doing this. Because as soon as they get here, now when they try to push, they can't get this hip back far enough to get out of the way. So they create more vertical force, which accelerates the club, but they can't get out of the way of it.
Okay.
So now they're stuck.
Stuck, yep.
Okay, so what should happen is you go back here and you get right there. It's not, you don't push off this hip. Your left hip goes back to meet your right hip. So your left hip goes back to meet your right hip. Your right hip doesn't go out to meet your left hip. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
So when you change directions, the left hip goes back to meet your right hip. Your right hip doesn't go out to meet your left. We grew up, kick your knee in, stabilize your right hip, push off your right side.
Yep.
So your right hip immediately, the minute you start down, starts going this way. And this hip, so your hips turn, but they move up into the ball. And somebody says, well, you're overextending. Yes, why? Because this hip's stuck.
Right.
So this becomes the pivot point rather than the center of your pelvis. So what I just did with you, by your back, you're hitting a little wedge shot, so you're on your left foot, so we don't have to deal with your right. As soon as you start down, I pull this hip back so that this moves out of the way, and what does the club do? It just drops rather than getting stuck underneath.
Yeah.
The underneath, a lot of it, some of it is because when you start down, you get here, and the first move you make is your hip goes, which is why your arms do a lot of this.
Yeah.
Okay, but the question is, why do your arms do that? You don't want to do it. So we got to fix the reason. You can't just say, Ashley, get up here and get your arms started down soon.
Yeah.
It ain't going to work.
It doesn't work that way.
It won't work.
No.
Okay.
No.
So the first step is what your left hip does.
Okay.
So let's do that again. So you start out every day hitting little teeny pitch shots.
Okay.
And this hip, let me do one more thing for you here. Put the club in your right hand. Here's what's got to start happening. When you get right here, this and this are connected to where your swing feels like that. This hip going back throws this forward. You feel that?
Yeah.
Those two circles have to match.
Okay.
You go, and this circle stops, and this one goes.
Yeah.
And the club gets back here, and then you flip. If you go back, and this does this, the club won't fall behind you as much.
Okay.
So this and this circle, these two circles have to match each other, and they have to both keep going. And this circle here is what throws the club forward.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So when I'm swinging, when I'm right here, this hip, this arm, this all these, they work like this. They go, ooh. The only reason my arms get to the ball is because this pushes back, which pulls that forward, which pulls this forward. See, you're doing it with this leg.
Yeah.
When you do it with this one, like that.
Oh, I do feel the difference. I was pushing here instead of pulling back here.
It's a pulley on a, yeah, there you go. Okay, come on up here.
Oh.
Feet close together.
Okay.
Practice swing first.
Practice swing.
Ooh. It's all right, a little slower. Good, let's go ahead and hit it. Set up to the ball.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, step one. How you need a drink? Water. I jumped ahead a little bit.
Okay, that's okay.
But, so now what we're going to do is we're going to stand here with just your right hand, and we're going to take the club back, and you see how the face aims at the ball?
Yeah.
And then you hit the ball, and then the club goes around over here to the left, and the face works that way. So it goes shut to what you feel is open. To see where it's at?
Yep.
So you got to start getting the feel for how the club works here, and it works this way. What it doesn't do is go like this and go like that.
Yeah.
So you start training your hand to be able to hit it and do what I just did there. There you go. There. There.
Trying to think hip back.
You don't even have to worry about hip back right now. Right now I want to get your right hand. So this goes here, and it hits the ball, and the club releases through, and it goes like this, as opposed to that.
Yes.
I want you to feel what this feels like. Here's the tour. They're all right there when they come down. Mm-hmm. They turn into the ball. They release the club like this. That's why they all hit it so damn straight, because there is none of this. So we got to get rid of this in you, okay? The first is starting with these little chip shots where you start to feel how this works. And what that's doing?
Yeah.
Now if it gets in here, see, then you're going to do this. So by just standing here making little swings, making this happen, your brain starts going, oh, I see. So that's how the club's supposed to work through the ball. So we're building this task, okay?
Okay.
This is not the task.
No,
Okay.
it's not the task.
So you're reinforcing how the club works through the ball. Then you hit some little teeny chip shots. You can hit them 10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards. You don't even have to necessarily move your body to do it. Right now it's more training your hands, how your hands work. There, hit, boom. There you go. Good.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
okay, that was pretty good. You can let the weight of the club go. You can let it go. There you go. Okay, now hit a couple that way. Little chip shots with just your right hand. Okay, went out to the right, correct? Mm-hmm. So what'd your club do? You routed too much to the inside.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, so this is something, you got to start fixing this right now with this shot.
Okay.
Because if it's, yeah. Choke down on the club just a little bit more, right there. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
That's fine. Same thing. So as the club runs into the ball, then it swings left.
Okay.
So it swings left without the face shutting down. Better.
Better.
Okay, so the club's got to go left, and if you watch these guys when they hit, and the gals that are really good with their wedges, they come down and they hit the ball, and then this goes over here like this, and the face works that way. Nobody goes out here and turns the face over.
No.
Okay, so you're starting right out just programming the club running into the ball, it's going around to the left, and the face turning up, like that. So you can let the weight of the club go, but when your hand releases, or when your wrist works, your wrist doesn't work this way.
Right.
So your right palm is working like this. Like bowling, like throw a ball. Your swing.
I'm doing this.
Exactly.
This.
It makes no... The first indication that you rotate your arms too much is your gloves wearing your right arm out on the... That might be...
That's so bad.
Now, what's interesting is I used to have that mark right there. I actually had a teacher that told me that I had to do that enough until I made this red. And so I got out there going, and I can still do it and hit balls, but yeah, oh my God. I mean, it's like, okay, let's see how much we can complicate this.
Yes. Yes, let's not complicate
And then
it.
let's ask average people with minimal hand-eye coordination to do something that's extremely difficult for somebody who's a good athlete.
Yeah.
And wonder why people aren't getting any better. There you go, good.
Oh yeah, it seems so easy.
Well, it is. Okay, go ahead, do it and hit it with just the one hand. Better. Now see, even now the club face is working and your arc's going left. So the combination of the face staying square to the arc and your arc going around to the left, the ball goes straight.
Yeah.
So now there is once the club runs into the ball, boom, the club goes left and the ball goes to the right. It's called separation. Your swing has been chase the ball because you had to, because it was coming from so far in here, everything had to slow down.
Yep.
So you could try to figure out how to do that. Anything, if I'd have told you from here, clear your hips, I mean, you're worse.
Hosel.
You can't catch it up. So you hit a lot of shots in the hosel.
Yeah.
And downhill wise, you hit them fat all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way to call me out there, Mike.
Well, I mean.
Well, it's true though.
It's unfortunately in this game, there are only a few mistakes. There you go. Good.
Okay.
Okay, so let it swing a little more left, so you still hit too much from the inside. Do it again.
Okay. Swing to the left. Okay.
Yeah, so once you hit the ball, the club's got to go more around to the left.
Okay.
There we go. Oh my God.
Wow.
Do that again. That was spectacular. There you go.
Oh, it's so much better. Not over here.
That's right.
And
Trying
then
to flip it.
Out. Oh,